Okay, welcome back to another episode of Taste of Grace. Today we're going to be making a jambalaya, but a veggie version because none of the green bell peppers really looked good in my area. This is probably not the best time to be making this dish, but we do have a tri-colored bell peppers that we're going to be using, and then instead of regular rice, I have cauliflower rice. You can by all means make your own cauliflower rice, but I can never get it to the store quality, like as far as texture, and also it makes a huge mess, and so I just buy it at this point. We've also got an onion, 3 stalks of celery. I've got crushed tomatoes, chicken stock, and then we have several seasonings. We've got dried thyme, dried oregano. I've got paprika and cayenne. I've also got bay leaves, mostly because I find that when I use any sort of canned tomato, I taste can unless I put bay leaves in it, even though I doubt you can find a jambalaya recipe with bay leaves in it. And then we've also got hot sauce, but it's really just like the green, I don't know, whatever hot sauce you want. This is what I'm using. And then we've just got salt. I also have some Creole seasoning, but I'm going to try to create the flavors without using that Creole seasoning. So I have my giant pot over here. It is already starting to heat up on the broken giant burner that we have. So I'm going to start with some celery. Note that all of my vegetables have been pre-washed. Oh my gosh, you know what else I forgot to tell you? I also have shrimp and sausage. Recipes are going to call for andouille sausage, but I really like this sausage that we get at Costco that is just, it's almost like a real fancy hot dog, and I have found that when I try to get sausages like andouille, beef links, anything like that, it just gives me such horrible indigestion, and I'm eating this for lunch. So, you know, if it was a weekend thing, I'd probably go ahead and go for the andouille. I think it would add a lot of flavor, but not for lunch meal prep. You could also do like celery salt probably, but the chopped celery that I'm doing right now, and then the onion that I'm going to do here in, you know, as soon as I finish this, is going to go in first with some butter. You could also do any olive oil, vegetable oil, anything that you want to cook the bottom of your pan, of your skillet. Well, I would actually not make this in a skillet. I'm using a pot. I don't know how you make a small amount of jambalaya, so I would just plan on using a giant pot. I don't know. I don't eat celery, like, ever. I couldn't tell you last time. I think the last time I ate a piece of celery was when they put it in this chicken salad I was having at a restaurant, and I didn't realize it was going to be in there. My palate has changed a lot since a child, but honestly, with celery, it's a texture thing, and I don't like the little stringy things, so chopping it up like this is going to be okay. I will eat it. I just don't eat it enough to know super awesome techniques for prepping it. So we're just kind of going with it. And it's really cutting pretty well. I don't know, maybe if I cut the stalks long ways first, maybe that would have helped. This is really going to cook down, so I really shouldn't be dealing with the texture of the celery anyways. Pretty fun though. It's been a while since I've chopped something like this. Okay. So I'm just going to do a couple tablespoons of butter because I know that I'm going to end up adding a lot of vegetables to this, and they're all going to need, ooh, sizzly. Let's turn that down a little bit. Ooh. It immediately tried to burn. Some little brown butter going on. I think also due to the broken burner, the pot gets hot spots. I'm gonna set that over there while it melts. Okay, let me toss this in the trash and then we're gonna start chopping our onion. I'm gonna add this celery. That butter has completely melted. Cool. So I've already taken the outer like paper, crap, I can't even think of what I'm calling that now. The outer layer off, that sort of papery layer, and then I'm just gonna keep chopping here. They say that you should not cut through the root of the onion like that, but it doesn't matter. I've cut onions so many ways and it doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna try and get these as small as possible. So I've already done like the cuts through the onion and now I'm just trying to make these cuts as small as possible. Whoop. And that's all I'm gonna get out of that onion for now. Sort of a weird shape that I'm not used to, which is okay. We like weird shaped vegetables and fruit. They still taste the same. That's so weird. I'm gonna slice this section first. We got some weird chunks falling out of it that didn't get cut very well. Okay. I'm going to take some of the top of this off where I know that I had made some slits but not all the way through, and I think that's why it wasn't cutting very well earlier. And I can see that I still have some larger slivers. Oop, I bumped you with my elbow. If you're close enough to see, you're close enough to get elbowed. Actually smells good, and I don't even like celery. Let me dump those off real quick. Looking pretty good. Let me grab a spoon real quick. I'm going to give this an actual stir. And that's going to need to cook down for quite a while. So let me go ahead and dump this onion, and then we'll start chopping the peppers. My shrimp is defrosting in water. Most shrimp bags say to not defrost shrimp by running it underwater. I don't know why that is. I imagine it's more of a, trying to prevent the spread of bacteria than anything else. That's why they say to not wash your chicken, which doesn't hurt the chicken. but you're potentially spreading bacteria all over your sink. So mine's just sitting in a bowl in the sink. You could also get fresh shrimp or let it defrost overnight. Most packages of shrimp have thawing instructions on them. My favorite way to eat bell peppers is when they've been grilled, like sliced, fajita style, and then grilled. But today I'm going to end up cubing them. And this is one of my favorite ways to cut up a pepper, process it, pull the seeds out. I just feel like I keep so many seeds on, like instead of them being all over the inside of this bell pepper, they're mostly at the top there. I'm just going to pull out a few of the seeds that I guess got bumped off. I'm sure they just got knocked off, so makes it super easy. This one I think was trying to grow another pepper already. It's a little wide, so... And then once you have them in slices like this, then it's real easy to just keep dicing. I'm not sure that I could be a chef in like a real restaurant or anything, because I oftentimes don't like the feel of pieces of vegetable or anything like that on my hands, and I'm not sure I would have time to slow down and wipe it off. Next, something that I've been trying to do diet-wise recently is to try and, I fast until noon because I can't eat eggs or gluten, and breakfast is just real sad at that point. You're down to like protein shakes, and those get real old to me. I can't do them for very long. Fasting has worked so far, not bored of that. And then for lunch, I try to do just protein and veggies, which still has carbohydrates, but I'm not eating a carb like rice or quinoa or potatoes or anything. Look! Oh yeah, these are totally trying to grow new peppers already. And so I like that I'm able to modify this dish, and that's really all that I'm going to be getting is protein and veggies for lunch. And then when I get home, I have a more indulgent meal. Usually some sort of potato. I think if I couldn't eat potatoes, which I'm not really supposed to eat like a lot of them, but if I had to completely cut them out of my diet for some reason, I would just stop eating entirely. I just don't know how I could do it. They're the best. I'm supposed to go to New Orleans this summer, or however you want to pronounce it. And I really want to try like beignets and gumbo, but I'm just trying to decide how much my belly's going to hurt doing that. And because I'm not going to be at home, like, what if I get sick? I don't know. It kind of makes me nervous and also sad, and I don't know. Do they make gluten-free gumbo in New Orleans? Could I try and make it here? And I don't know. Makes me a little sad, but I'll figure it out when the time comes. In the meantime, I'm really glad to be able to sort of modify this to meet my dietary needs. think after these 2 peppers, I'm going to go ahead and dump into the pot, and that way I have more space to do the red pepper. So that's where we're at with the onion and celery. It looks pretty. I hope it tastes good. Poor buddy. If I go put that in dirt, will it keep growing? I feel kind of bad for murdering these baby bell peppers. Fun. And this really, if you're making rice, it would take a lot longer because you're going to want to cook the rice itself, you know, for the 30, it needs about 30 minutes to cook. You could absolutely do the rice in an Instapot and then add it in, or if you have frozen rice, or, you know, there's different ways of making the recipe shorter. Even if you're using the rice, but this should be pretty quick because I guess I was maybe under another pepper because it didn't want to, every single piece was still held together. You're really just heating up the cauliflower rice, and I used to be so good at frying the cauliflower rice to the point that it was crispy and toasty, and I guess I've lost my magic. Okay, so I'm going to throw in some seasonings now. It's a tablespoon of salt. I'm going to do about a half a tablespoon of paprika. And then a half a tablespoon of cayenne. I like it spicy. Want some heat to it. If you don't, add in less cayenne, maybe no cayenne. Or maybe just add in some cayenne and not the Tabasco or whatever hot sauce you're using. And then I'm going to do a tablespoon of the thyme. And I flung that everywhere. And then I'm doing a tablespoon of oregano. Okay. So I'm going to stir that real quick. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut up my sausage real quick. I'm only doing 1 link a day because I also have planned to do 5 shrimp each day. Come on. I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna slice it out real quick. Looks fine. And I'm just doing these about bite size. They're about 1 inch long. And so those are gonna go in. I'm just gonna set that there. And now we can add in these. Okay, let's try and follow instructions. It says to hold here. And that was the half of the package. So I'm gonna smash this down and then let that sit while I check on the shrimp. They should be defrosted. Once the shrimp is defrosted, they will go in, and basically this sits and simmers, and feel free to add seasoning as you see fit. And our shrimp was defrosted, so I am gonna actually do some Tony Chachere's on the shrimp, and I'm just gonna kind of coat it because it'd be horrible if, dang it, I breathed that in again. The shrimp tasted like shrimp, right? Okay. Let me turn the heat up there. Last stop is I'm going to put in the crushed tomatoes and bay leaf. You could also defrost the cauliflower beforehand. It would go a lot faster if it wasn't being cooked from frozen. And we'll see how it goes. I may have to add some liquid to keep it from sticking, in which case I'll be using the chicken broth. But I know that the cauliflower rice is going to release liquid. And I'm not eating soup, eating jambalaya. Okay, here's the bay leaf, and that's gonna simmer for probably 30 minutes. So see you next time. Bye.